Hey guys, how's it going? I'm bringing you a Blackout game today, so I'm just going to start with this fun little clip from a quads game that I played, just trying to get some challenges. And these guys dropped me on helicopter and started lighting me up, and I grappled up on the roof, and they didn't see me over there, and I just lit them up and got a quad, which is actually me getting the challenge for wiping a whole squad, the squad wipe challenge, which I had not gotten previously. So that was just kind of a cool clip. So Blackout game this time is a duos game. And we do get a win, but there are some, some teaching opportunities in here, and reviewing. If you have a way to review your own games, or look back at the games that you played, that's a great thing to do because it really sort of opens your eyes as to what you did, what you didn't do, what you should have done, what you could have done, kind of all that stuff. And so here I make the call real quick to just push him real quick. I don't know how many guys are down here, and I don't have my teammate with me, so it's probably an ill-advised push. And I don't know what kind of gun he has. I don't think we were communicating that, but guys up top. So I didn't even actually see the guy on the bottom right there until he moved that far left. We're trying to watch for the guy on the top. So we got kind of lucky. That guy went down, and his teammate jumped out the window. If his teammate hadn't jumped out the window out there, we probably wouldn't have won this gunfight. But his teammate jumped out the window, and he's just camping, waiting for us. So I finished that up and clean that up. Now, I don't really like the rampart all that much. If I do use the rampart, I used to like it a lot. I used to hate it, and then I used to like it a lot, and I've been back to sort of hating it. And I basically kept in this game. It's almost like a secondary for me in this game. I just used it for like some distance shots because I've basically made the switch to submachine guns now. And I'm so confident using the submachine guns now that I actually will run submachine gun sniper, which, it's kind of risky to do that if you're not comfortable with the submachine guns because it's not easy to have that dead zone because submachine guns are only effective out to like 50 meters maybe or something, a couple hundred feet at the most. As you'll see here, I'm getting one of these guys not at the limit, but kind of at the outer ranges of submachine guns. So you'll see this guy on the hill here. So where I'm shooting him there is kind of like the outer edges of submachine guns. So immediately I decided to push because he's down and that guy, so I move right as far as I can so he can't see me pushing up. And basically I'm just going to pop over the hill and light him up. Terrible shots on my part. I missed so many of those shots. I only did 6 damage. So my teammate did all the heavy lifting there, and I was there to, finish it up. And, that happens to me a lot. I get a lot of games where I have a ton of damage, especially in duos where I have a ton of damage and I don't have that many kills. And it's just a team effort. So as long as the guys die, that's fine. I had a game last night that I got so mad at and I lost, and I basically said I was never going to play Blackout again, but it's just sort of the heat of the moment thing. But I had 900 damage. Keep in mind, 150 is normal health. If somebody has a trauma kit, that's 200. So I had 900 damage and only 1 kill. So it's just kind of how it goes. A lot of the time you do a lot of damage and you may not actually get the kills or whatever. But it's a team effort as long as the guy dies. And so, something like that where I was using that cordite and I pushed up like that, I wouldn't have done that before. That was not a... See, this guy's tagging us, so this is something that I love to do. Is just sort of light him up a little bit. Make him sorry that he started shooting at us, We wouldn't have known he was over there, and he has no reason to start shooting us. He didn't have a sniper or anything, and what does he do? He damages me 70 damage, and that's it. Doesn't even get my teammate. It's like, that's such a dumb play on his part. So it's like, I'm going to make him pay for that. So we had moved on from there. We moved to the top of this hill, and the zone's kind of closing in, and we can actually see... we heard guys fighting out there, and so you can actually see them coming in, and I don't know why I was waiting so long, honestly. It's just because I have like PTSD with these assault rifles because I end up dying so much using these things. So it's just nicer for me to have a submachine gun, so I've just been sticking with the cordite. That's my favorite. And I love using it with a silencer. So there's some arguments about silencers not being that good, and silencers, only protect you from people that you would have killed anyway, because any person who's any good can tell where a silencer's coming from. And I totally get that. That makes perfect sense. But, beyond a certain range, and this was one of the bad plays that I made. So I waited so long for him to come in. He stunned my teammate, and I should have gotten aggressive there, knowing he was going to be focused on my teammate, but I was a little bit too passive, and then he stunned me too, and he almost got me. And luckily my teammate was there to clean it up and finish him off for me, because I got down to 17 health there, as you saw, and that was a horrible play on my part. So I just like the submachine guns. I like the quickness of them, and I feel like silencers on submachine guns are kind of okay on some of them. Like, I think the MX9 and the Cordite are both okay. And the reason is because, you know, there is a range. There is a limit to how far they can hear you. So if you're maybe, say, 100 feet away from somebody, it's borderline whether or not they'll hear that silencer. And especially in, like, a duos, you know, you'll see at the end of the game, the second guy that I killed had no idea where I was. And it's just because, like, in those heat of the moment situations where you're sort of panicking, because there's guys firing at you and stuff, and you can hear bullets whizzing around, and your teammate just goes down, and he's saying, I'm down, he's over here, kind of a thing. You know, in those type of moments, having a silencer is pretty cool, because, you know, it's just one more level. So there's another thing I've learned and picked up recently, which is always ADSing when I open a door like that, when I expect a guy to be in there, because that could be the difference between dying and not dying, you know. So, and here we're just sort of playing it close to the edge of the circle. This is my preferred style. I love to be on the very edge of the circle in these last couple, because a lot of people, there's really only two play styles at these final circles, and that's people that play like this, which is like kind of keep their back to the circle. And then there's people who just charge into the very, very center and just hold down a spot and just camp and wait for the other guys to come in. I don't like that, because you can get surrounded really easily, and especially if you start to get in a gunfight, you can get shot in the back really easily. You know, you get third-partied is what they call it, but I just much prefer keeping my back to the edge of the circle and just sort of clearing like a quarter of the circle as we move in, and just sort of keeping an eye right and left and using the cover that we have to make sure no one's around us. And it works well for us. Works well for me, and you know, I don't know how he would be doing it if he was playing solo, but that's how I like to do it, and even in solo, that's how I play. And here's another thing I picked up from watching the streamers is I started cooking that grenade just so I was ready for it, and then he drove away, so I just pressed Y and just brought it back.
Further collapse expected.
Now here we're just playing it really cautious, really conservative. It's been a slow game so far, and neither of us have that many kills, so we're just playing it extra cautious. And I totally didn't see that guy to the left until just now, but from this range, that's too far for a Cordite. So basically, I switched to this. And we can hear him fighting over there, so we're going to leave him be. Just sort of make sure our right side is clear. You don't want to... I mean, again, for me, I don't want to generally move in where there's other people fighting like that, because what's going to happen is eventually one of the teams is going to win out. And, you know, if I had much better aim and I was more confident in my aim, I would totally play that way. And I'd also probably move into the circle a little bit sooner, but I'm really not that confident in my aim. And here's another one of my errors. I didn't have my gun reloaded fully, so I had an opportunity to finish him off there, but I had to reload, and the clip was out. So now we have to push. You know, we lit him up. I broke his armor, and so we know he has no armor, and he appears to be by himself, so we wanted to push up. And, you know, circle's coming in anyway. But again, we're not going to push into the middle. We're going to take some cover here and play it, you know, ultra conservative. And of course, there's many different play styles. You know, you don't have to play conservative like this. And now I can see that guy moving to our right. So as you see, he's pretty far back up against the zone. So if we had pushed in earlier and had our back to him, shooting at this guy up on the rock, we might have got shot in the back by him. So that's one of the reasons why I don't like to do that. And so I'm just trying to keep an eye on him while my teammates kind of keeping an eye on the guy on top, up top. And I mean, I don't really have an angle here, and I don't want to back up too far because that guy from the rock is going to kill me. So we're just sort of waiting. Obviously, they have sensor darts and stuff, so it's kind of not the best play on our part, but we had cover, and so there wasn't really any reason to try to push up, except for there. You know, at that point, it's like, all right, we got to move. And then this guy's camping here, so he has a bad position. I did 150 to him, and this time he only did 100 to me, so that's a win. And now there's only two teams left, and again, we're not going to charge in the middle. We're just going to sort of play the edge of the circle. Now, if you play too close, like where I am right now, you can actually hear the hum of the circle. You hear that? And that actually messes with your audio, so don't be too close to the edge.
Circle
You won't be able to hear footsteps very easily with that droning in the background. But again, here we're just sort of playing for information. We're trying to figure out where these guys are. We know there's two teams left, or, well, I mean, there could potentially be more than that. There could be a bunch of teams of solos. Who knows? But we know there's a couple guys left. We haven't seen anybody yet, though. We're about to get our first clue here in a second. And I can hear that sensor dart over there, so I shot mine. That guy lit me up. He had the target on me. But luckily, we didn't push too far, so we still had the cover. And we go down there. He downs one of them. And so we're trying to finish him off. I'm thinking my grenade's a good time to use that. And then I realize really pretty quickly, like, I have to push. So I shoot that dart. And I think, like, okay, we really have to push. And he's got him up, and they're already moving toward the other guys. Now, I can't see the guys. Okay, yeah, see, I see the guys to the left there. But I'm moving up, and I quickly realize, like, this is too close for an SMG, or too close for a Rampart, so I switch to an SMG. Move up. Both those guys died. I'm going to pop over this hill, kill this guy. He didn't know I was there because I played it so aggressive. Lit him up. Teammate did too. And then I pop up over here, and this is what I was saying about the silencer. Look, his teammate had no idea I was this close to him. So same for him. He did, at least 60, maybe even 110 to that guy, and I finished him off. And second guy, first guy, he did some damage to him, and I finished him off too. So again, that's a team effort. But just, this sort of play style with this cordite, like that push right there is much more indicative of how I play now and why I've been getting a lot more wins recently, is because that's really a style that allows me more freedom to move around, to be faster moving, to stay out of harm's way, and also to get more shots on target, because sitting from a distance with an assault rifle just doesn't work for me anymore, and it just doesn't. So anyway, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this one. Appreciate you watching it, and I'll see you another time. Thanks.